Welcome guys to an interesting session where we're going to look at some questions from math paper 1 for the 2023 for the internals. So we are starting from question 18. So the first question, a sugar company paid 362,400 kwacha as dividend for 1,200 shares. A man had 20 shares in the company. Calculate the amount paid to him. So for us to find the amount of money paid to this individual, first we need to find how much was paid per share. So to do that, we are going to get the total amount of money paid, which is 362,400. I can ignore the zeros. Divided by 1,200. So cancel the zeros. So we have 3,624 over 12. Now for numbers like this, there are so many ways in which you can simplify numbers like this. So you can divide by 12 into 36 and 24. Or if you want, you can first reduce the numbers. So let's reduce the numbers. So which number can go into 12 and 3,062? So 2 here will give us 6. 2 into 3 is 1, remainder 1. 2 into 16 is 8. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 4 will give us 2. Then from there, if 6 is still hard for you, you can still reduce. So 2 into 6 is 3. 2 into 18 is 9. Then 2 into 12 is 6, so we'll say 906, which is our final answer will be 3 here is 1, 3 here is 3, 3 into 0 is 0, 3 into 6 is 2. So this was the amount of money paid per share. So if we have the amount of money paid per share, let's look at how many shares this individual had. So we have 20 shares. So 20 multiplied by that, then we have the amount of money paid to that individual. So I'm going to say 302 kwacha times 20. And whenever you are multiplying numbers where you have a 0 or zeros at the right end, you can just ignore the 0. But first, let's do it the odd way. So 0 times 2 is 0, 0, 0. 2 times 2 will give us 4. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 3, 6. Then we add. So here we have 0, 4, 0, 6. So this was the amount of money paid to him. Now, we said we can also multiply a number like this one with 20. So 20, I'm going to ignore this 0. I'm just going to put a 2 here. So these are some of the principles that you can use whenever I deal with math paper 1. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. So the 0 that we ignored, we're going to put it here. So we still have the same answer. Right, we move on to question B. So under question B, we are taught to find the equation of a line parallel to the line that passing through -5, 3. So let's first draw two lines. Two lines are parallel if they cannot meet. And in mathematics, you see these lines by the arrows. So we are given the equation of we'll say this is line A. We are given the equation is 2x plus y is equal to 4. And the question is, we want to find the equation of line B. So the equation is y minus y1 is equal to gradient, open brackets, x minus x1. Now we have x1 is -5, y1 this is 3. So the remaining part is m, which is the gradient. So how can we find the gradient? So we are going to find the gradient of line A. So how do you use the equation like this one to find the gradient of line? So you make y the subject of the formula as your first step. So n term without y will be shifted to the right side, giving us y is equal to 4 minus 2x. So after we make y the subject of formula, where there is y, you now substitute with m, which is a symbol for gradient. Then the final answer is the coefficient of x, which is -2. So this is our gradient. So say gradient 1 is equal to gradient 2. Now what is the relationship between two lines that are parallel? When we look at gradient, so the relationship is that they share the same gradient. So even this one will have gradient 1. So y minus y1 is 3. Gradient is -2. x1 is -5. So we can first simplify the inside part of the bracket, which is negative times negative is positive. Then I'm going to distribute -2. So -2 times x is -2x. Then -2 times positive 5 will give us -10. Then I'm going to correct the like term, so I'm going to move the -3 to the right side, giving us y is equal to -2x minus 10. This will change to +3, which is our final answer will be y is equal to -2x minus 7. So we are going to subtract and getting the sign from the bigger number, which is -10. Now if we go back to this equation, after we made the x, y the subject formula, why do we get the coefficient of x? If you look at this formula, so this number is a gradient. So if you multiply by x, the number in front of x represents the gradient. So I wanted to show you this concept. So we move on to question 19. So under question 19 we have variation. Now if a varies jointly as b and as the square root of c, so jointly simply means we are going to join two variations. So the variation of a and b and the variation of a and d, the square root of c. So let's see that. So say a varying, what is our first letter? B, and square root of c. So language in math is very important. So whenever you're told the square root of something, that something must be written under the square root. Then from there we need to form the equation. So a, this changes into equal sign. Immediately after you change this into equal sign, you introduce the constant of variation multiplied by b times the square root of c. So if you look at question A, we are told to find the constant of variation, which is k. So we're going to use these numbers. So the value of A is 21. So where there is 21, you put, where there is A, you put 21. K is what we are solving for. What is the value of C? Is 5. Sorry. B is 5. Then what of the value for C? C is 36. We can find the square root of 36, which is possible or minus 6, but let's just focus on the positive value. So I'll just say 6. So if we multiply 5 times 6 will give us 30 times k. We have 30k is equal to 21 over 30 over 30. We can now reduce. Which number can go into 21 and 30? So 3 into 21 is 7 over 3 V into 30 will give us 10. So we just leave it as a fraction. So that's our final answer. Then B, we want the value of A when B is equal to 9 and C is equal to 100. So the equation is A is equal to KB square root C. So we are solving for A. What's our K? Is 7 divided by 10 times Z. What's our B? So the B is 9. What is our C? C is 100. So the square root of 100. We know that the square root of 100 is just 10. So I can cancel the 10. Then the remaining part is 7 times 9. So 7 times 7 is 49. 49 plus 7, that's 56. 56 plus another 7, we have 63. That's our final answer. Then for question C, we want C when A is equal to 70 and B is equal to 25. So we're going to write our equation A is equal to KB square root C. So A is this number, 70. K is this one, 7 over 10 times Z. What's our B? 25. Then I would ask is we want to find the square root C. Now let's look at this one. So we just want the value, not the value. So we just want one number. So I'm going to cross multiply. Now instead of saying 70 times 10, instead of saying 700, I'm just going to write 70 multiplied by 10 is equal to, here it's 7 times 25 times square root C. So I can divide by 7 and also here by 7. So that if I cancel 7 here is 1, 7 here is 10. Which is the 10 is same as the 5 times 2. So I'm going to break this 10 so that this one is still 10 is equal to 25 root C over 25 over. Now 25 is same as 5 times 5. So that I cancel this, I have square root C is equal to, I can cancel this 5, cancel this 5. So the remaining is 2 times 5 here is 1, 5 here is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now since we want to get rid of the square root, I'm going to square both sides so that C is equal to 16 as my final answer. We move on to question 20. So under question 20, in the space, in the answer space below is an incomplete simple program in pseudocode for calculating and outputting the volume V of a cone given the base radius R in the height H. Complete the program by filling in the blank spaces with appropriate statements. So let's look at what we are dealing with. So the calculating and volume V of a cone. So it's very important to first look at the formula, volume for a cone. So volume for a cone, V is equal to 1/3 pi r squared h. So the h is input, radius is also input. These are just the constant numbers or terms, so we don't consider these to be inputs. So begin enter, where there is enter you put the input. So in our case we'll say enter radius, the second one is height. Then where there is V you write the formula. So volume is equal to 1/3 times pi multiplied by radius, another radius, height. We are done. Okay, move on to question B. Shade 2 more sections. So 2 more sections of the diagram in the answer space so that it has rotation, symmetry of order. So the key is 2. So let's look at the diagram given. Okay, so this is our diagram. We just have to shade the, so rotation, we just want to, if we were to rotate this, we need only 2 rotations. So the first rotation, it has to make, rotation is where if you rotate the given figure, it has to fit. So let's say if this is point A, then I'm going to put this one as point B. So I can rotate this part comes on this part. That is our first rotation. If this goes here, this B will go where? So if I rotate again, the same, this will go back to its original position. So this is where our answer will be gotten from. So how can we make 2? So I'm going to make this to the same direction. I'm going to shade this region so that if I rotate the same, this will go back to this position. So this is it. So that if this goes to this one, this will go at this position. Let's hope you are able to see the picture. What of this one? This will go to this position. Okay, shouldn't. Okay, just want to do. So this is our area. Then this will be here. So we've shaded only 2. And as you can see, if this is A, B, A will go where B is, B will go where A is. Let's say this is C, and this is D. So this will go to this position, this will come here. Then we'll say E, F. E will go here, F will come back here. So as you can see, we still have 2 rotations. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.